I got a poll up right now. They got Unbiased 47%, Capt Tazaryach 53%. This is where y'all pick up some percentage.
I see the polls got it close, and Captain is good. I like my boy. All respect to Captain. But this is going to break, or this should put me ahead, is that we talked about prophecy, right? And Cap did a good job. I did a good job. We talked about prophecy. Now we're talking about fulfillment now. So now we got to see where Joseph actually had Christ.
Yes!
Matthew don't deal with a lineage. It talks about 42 generations, and Mary is listed as a generational parent of Jesus.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree that Mary is not a parent.
Joseph is not listed as a generational parent of Jesus in Matthew's 1.
Yes, he is.
Show us.
Okay, so before I show that, I'm gonna just slide this over. I'm gonna just slide this over.
Yeah.
And it says, this is, I don't know what you said yeah for.
You'll
this
see.
is Matthew 1. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. That's Joseph, and that's Mary.
But where does it say Joseph is the father of Christ? I missed that part.
No problem. I'm glad you said that. So when you go up here, it says, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth. So as you can see, this is generational. This is like the royal lineage of Christ. Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. Now, anybody that has grammatical sense, this is the end of the generations. So it's stopping with. If this was a continuation, like let's say if there was somebody coming after Christ, it would be just like every other verse.
No.
It would say,
it can't. First of all, to the audience, generations, the way Matthew is counting generations, parent, offspring. So Joseph is an offspring of Jacob, but Jesus is an offspring of Mary. It says Mary, of whom was born Jesus. So we don't see Joseph begetting Jesus. So Jesus is included as the last 42nd generation, but Mary is his parent, not Joseph. Joseph is the offspring of Jacob. He's not the father of Jesus.
So now that's your understanding, right? That's your breakdown, right?
Show us something different.
So now, in Matthew 1 and 6, when you read these verses, it says, Zerubbabel begat Abud, and Abud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azar. That's because it's letting you know it's just running down the generations. When it gets down here to to Joseph and Mary, this is the end of the generations. And so Jacob begat Joseph. So now we know Jacob begat Joseph. This is the generations of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. That's where Joseph comes in at. Jesus is not a part of this generation if he doesn't come from Joseph. So when it says, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ, that's the conclusion. How do you notice the conclusion? Because the very next verse says, so all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations, and from David to the carrying away up to 14 generations. It ends with Christ, where Christ is the last son of those generations. It's just that simple.
So now we got to see where Joseph actually had Christ. So this is the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. So Joseph should be begetting Christ like every other father here. We go to verse 16, Cat. The lineage stops, at least man for man, it stops with Jacob begot Joseph. We don't read that again, but we read the verb. So begot is a verb. It shows verbs are action words. It shows how something is getting done. So Eliot got it done. He got Eleazar. Azar got it done. He got Zadok. Jacob got it done. He got Joseph. Born is a verb. This is a woman's verb. Mary, of whom was born Jesus. Mary got it done. So family, for those who are struggling who to vote for in the poll, we Captain got to show somehow where Joseph got it done for Jesus. Joseph is part of Jacob's generation. So all the generations, 14, 14, 14, 42. That means a child is born We see Jesus is born from Mary, but every other son is born of a father. We don't read a connection. There's no verb that connects Joseph to Jesus at all. Zero.
I clearly show in the Bible that Joseph, if you think about it, it's fulfilled through Joseph, because Joseph is the only one from the house of David in the Bible, in the text, even the Luke 2 and 4, where he tried to show, I showed all the different translations that all say only Joseph was from the house of David, not him. I showed Romans 1 and 3 when it says of the seed of David according to the flesh. Even when we broke it down in the Greek, it's still, when he agreed, the definition was semen, child, offspring. It can only come from Joseph because Joseph is the only one that comes from David. He brought out Hebrews 2 and 14, which clearly also showed the same way the children were, the same way Christ was made. So how was the children made? With a man and a woman. That's the same way Christ was made, through a man and a woman.
Let me see what they got right here. How the voting look?
I haven't looked at it at all.
But this is going to break, or this should put me ahead. So now we got to see where Joseph actually had Christ. We don't read a connection. There's no verb that connects Joseph to Jesus at all. Zero.
I don't get caught up in the votes like that.
They got Unbiased Sports winning by 1. That's it. Debate is over. They got 51 to 49. Unbiased Sports.
Yeah, no sweat.